Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. DJ here again as usual with another story for you, and this one affects America but could easily affect the UK also. And this is about these smugglers. Have you heard about them? They were arrested last week. One of the two Chinese nationals or Chinese smugglers arrested for allegedly smuggling a toxic crop-killing pathogen, which also has their devastating health effects on humans, and they stuffed the noxious fungus in her boots while entering the USA in 2021. So this has been going on because now they've been caught again. And it's only now that we're hearing about the fact that when they checked the phones, these records was on the phones about the 2022 event. So it's been going on for some time. Now, according to the arrest affidavit for the University of Michigan, postdoctoral research fellow Yongying Jian and her boyfriend Zunyang Liu, Jiang first brought Fusarium graminarium, described as a potential aggroterrorism weapon in scientific literature in August 2022. The transcribed WeChat conversation they found on her phone between Jian and Liu shows Liu instructing Jian on how to smuggle the fungus. That's according to the affidavit that the prosecution has put before the court. Federal arrests, let me get this right, Federal agents arrested two Chinese researchers, I just named them for you, for smuggling the fungus into the USA that requires a permit. Zunyang Liu was coming to the USA to visit his girlfriend, Yongping Jian, who worked at a research lab at the University of Michigan, when he was caught with 4 samples of Fusarium graminarium. I'm saying these words correctly, wow. A federal investigation found that it wasn't the first time they'd done so. 2 Chinese researchers have been charged with multiple federal crimes as part of the months-long plan to smuggle a biological pathogen into the USA. The investigators referred to a potential aggroterrorism weapon, and this is according to recently unsealed federal court proceedings. Zhongyang Liu, 34, the researcher at Zhejiang University in Hangzhou, China, was apprehended in July 2024 at the Detroit Metropolitan Airport for smuggling a fungus known as Fusarium graminarium with his girlfriend Yongying Jian, who's 33, who is a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Michigan. Now, Fusarium graminarium can cause severe diseases in plants such as wheat, barley, oats and maize, so it could destroy the food supply of America. And how long before it goes into Britain? Customs and Border Protection agents found 4 plastic bags. Let me see, I want to get this right. 4 plastic bags with small clumps of reddish plant material that later turned out to be the Fusarium graminarium, as well as a small piece of filter paper with markings indicated it contained samples of 4 different substances, and a note written in Mandarin. And it was all stuffed in a wad of crumpled tissues crammed into a small pocket in Liu's backpack. During questioning, Liu originally said he knew nothing of the samples, suggesting they may have been placed into his bag by someone else. When asked why someone else would put them in his bag, he replied he didn't know. According to the court filings, Liu later changed his story, admitting to law enforcement officials he planned to clone the samples of Fusarium graminarium at the University of Michigan molecule plant microbe interaction laboratory, where Jian, his girlfriend, worked. The officers then went to Lou's MacBook and 2 phones and found a series of exchanges with Jan, in which they discussed how to get the Fusarium grammarium through customs. On one of Lou's iPhones, CBP officers found an article titled 2018 Plant Pathogen Warfare Under Changing Climate Conditions. 2018 book, an article entitled 2018 Plant Pathogen Warfare Under Changing Climate Conditions that specifically mentioned Fusarium grammarium. I'm getting good at saying these Chinese words, aren't I? It's not Chinese really, it's Latin, but still. The CBP and the FBI Detroit Field Office, which conducted the operations investigation, did not respond to requests for any comments from journalists. The University of Michigan released a statement saying it would cooperate with law enforcement and strongly condemned any actions that seek to cause harm, threaten national security, or undermine the university's critical public mission. The university also specified it had never received funding from the Chinese government relating to Jan's research. Yeah. Now, what was the saying? Yes, Fusarium grammarium can cause head blight in plants. Biological pathogens, especially from those overseas, are heavily controlled substances by the USA Customs Enforcement because of the risks they pose to crops and people. The fact they're bringing a plant pathogen across international borders is serious, said Eric Olson, a professor of wheat breeding and genetics at Michigan State University, same university these were from. He continued, "This is serious. You can't do that." Well, they did in 2022, it seems, and they got caught in 2024 bringing more in. Had they brought in any other? Fusarium grammarium is a type of fungus that, if left unchecked, can cause deadly plant disease known as head blight, which I said earlier, and it decimates crop yields, said Gary Bergstrom, professor of plant pathology at Cornell University, who has studied Fusarium grammarium for 40 years. Long time to study one germ, but anyway, despite the problems it can cause, Fusarium grammarium is controlled by regular inspections throughout the food chain and by the use of fungicides. However, a foreign strain introduced to the USA could be more virulent and leave crops with no immunity to make it defenceless. You could be introducing a strain from outside that is maybe one with resistance to fungicides we use here, Bergson said. The chances of that are probably small, but they're not zero. Contaminated grains and flour made from them also pose a risk to humans. The fungal toxins from Fusarium grammarium can cause severe vomiting and liver damage. The sort of slang term is vomit toxin, Olsen said. I don't know why I added that, but still. I'll give you a history of the smuggling of pathogens into the USA. Federal agents from the CBP and the FBI continued their investigations. They found evidence that this was not the first time Lou and Jan had planned to bring Fusarium grammarium into the USA. In February of this year, federal agents questioned Jan over the matter. She too denied knowledge of any knowledge of alleged efforts to bring Fusarium grammarium into the USA. She denied all knowledge, but they got it on the phones. WeChat messages from August 2022, found on their phones indicate Jan had smuggled the fungus around that time in a text conversation between the two. Jan told Lou she had hidden the plastic baggie containing Fusarium grammarium in her shoes when arriving at San Francisco International Airport. I stuffed them in my shoes, Jan wrote. So she doesn't know anything about it. She never did it, but then she wrote to her boyfriend that yes, she did. Other messages found in Yan's phone showed extensive planning between herself and an individual called Zhao Zhen, in messages dating back to January the 15th. In these messages, Yan instructed Chen on which biological samples to send her. So she was asking for them and then telling the police, "Oh, I don't know anything about it." And how to do so without getting caught, she told Yan. By shipping them into the USA, Yan told Zen, place the samples on cut up pieces of filter paper, place them into a plastic bag, and then finally hide the bag in a thick boot to be mailed to her. Into a thick book, not a thick boot, a thick book to be mailed to her. There are usually no problems, Yan wrote to Chen, according to messages including in the court filings. Rest assured, I've mailed these before. Aha! Again, she's admitted it, but only on phone, but she denies it during questions. The package Chen sent was appended by CBP office in Louisville, Kentucky, and inside the old statistics textbook containing 15 pieces of parchment paper with unknown biological substances that were subsequently described according to the filing. This is what's going on, folks. We have very little control of what's going into our countries from countries that are alien to our own cultural heritage, and they are seeking to destroy us. China is massing a massive amount of money into Britain and America and Europe and Africa, and they're buying up our land, they're buying up our buildings, they're buying up our industries, and they're also poisoning us. And they're putting their ships, they're getting the biggest warships now, and they're placing them around Taiwan for a future invasion into Taiwan. And we are not ready. We are not recognizing that these people are doing these things to us. We are completely with veiled eyes and stopped up ears to what's going on. And so I hope you've heard me. I hope you've understood. I hope you've realised that we've got to be on tip-top condition, tip-top awareness. And as a watchman, I'm watching and I'm sounding the trumpet. So until the next one, bye for now. Be safe, be good. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I can't keep doing this without your subscriptions. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny, nor even a cent. It doesn't even cost you a rupee. It's totally free to subscribe. So do so. And don't forget to like the button. Okay? Bye for now.